Good afternoon, everyone. Though we have very less strength so far, but still, it's better if I can start right now because today, we had to cover a lot many things which is still pending with you all. So I don't know how many of you are okay. So first of all, let me ask: how many of you are still feeling any doubt on my previous session, or maybe you have any further confusion on what actually you have learned so far? As usual, I know like you guys will say no because it's obvious so far. So just wanted to ask you from everyone, guys, please work on the tutorial which I try to give every day. Work on the part which I try to give you every day. Okay. So just wanted you to take into the some other session which is nothing but the regular expression. So yeah, so we have enough participants to get the thing started because right now it's about to touch 30. So I'm thinking like let me take a thing forward. Okay. Now what exactly the regular expression is? So first of all, just overview I wanted to tell you. It's a kind of sequence, maybe character, which forms some sort of a pattern. So basically, a regular expression is a sequence of a character that forms a such pattern, and regex can be used to check if a string contains the specified such pattern or not. So here in Python, we generally try to use regex. Okay. So even in Python, we have regex module, and that is built-in package which is available in a Python with nothing but re. Okay, so don't worry, I will take you to that as well. And it also, this particular package, basically when I'm talking about re module, it also offers some set of functions. Means basically I can name it on functions. Find all one type of a function, search is another type of a function, split is another type of function, and sub is another type of each function defines something. So when I talk about some function which are present in that module, first of all let me just talk about find all. So find all, it generally returns a list containing all the matches, and then we have another function which is nothing but the search, which returns a match object if there is a match anywhere in that particular string, the given string basically. And the other function which is available here is that is the split, which generally returns a list where the string has been split at each match. And then we have another function which is nothing but the, no, I'm not sharing any screen, it's just I'm in a flow, so I thought like let me just talk about this. Don't worry, I'll be sharing the screen, but in the screen you can see here I am not written that much because this is general topic, and generally people, for me means it's a kind of a repetition, so everybody quite aware about it, I don't know. So yeah, I haven't mentioned any function, maybe tomorrow I will prepare that also to mention some sort of a function. Okay, but so far what I have explained is like means that some of the functions which are available here, and today we will talk about a special kind of sequence or maybe meta characters which are available in regex basically. Okay, so guys, how many of you have still, want me to explain about what is regex and what exactly why we use regex? Okay, so I don't know how many of you are still, thinking like how to use that, how regular expression is. So I don't know, means maybe in the compiler design or maybe when you have a theory of computation, these are the subjects which you are gonna learn on third semester. Basically at that point of time, do you means you guys will definitely learn about regular expression. That regular expression is quite different than this, but it's a pretty much simple, or maybe you can select similar to the one which I'm talking about. Okay, at that time you have to build maybe toll gate, maybe try to, you have to create some sort of a string which has some sort of regular expression that is being used in a compiler as well as in theory of computation. So generally compilers try students learn something from the one you try to provide the input. So say in similar fashion, you can in python also we generally try to learn this regular expression, and it's a quite convenient for us to use this kind of regular expression to search on our on a text or maybe on a uh, you can say like on a big file. So once again, I just wanted to repeat, like a regular expression is a special sequence of character which try to help you to match or to find some other string or maybe set of strings using some specialized syntax which are given in a pattern, or maybe you can say like which are given accordingly, according to you guys. Okay. So these are the regular expression is widely, I can say, is being used in Unix. So still I keep on saying the Unix. I don't know how many of you are still aware about it. This is nothing but another set of another form of operating system. The we are trying to use operating system as in Windows, and Unix is apart from that. So there, if you love programming, truly speaking, you would feel better if you will do your coding and everything on a Unix platform. So in Python we have module called as RE, which provides full support of our Python regular expression. So the RE module, it also raises the exception like RE dot error. If an error occurs at the time of compilation, then it is trying to give you some sort of a, maybe this module particular raises an sort of exception, you can say. And we would also I have basically a lot of functions which are available here. So I'm not talking much, not I'm not going to talk much on a function, but yeah, I would rather than talk, I would give you some sort of example which are I have already taken it out, but somehow you have to learn some functions. So I'm gonna cover today some function which is named as match, in which you are gonna pass pattern and then string, and then you have to just specify the flag. Okay. So here in my example, I'm not gonna tell you about what exactly, but you, as I keep on saying, like it will match function will accept three arguments. One is a pattern, second is string, another one is flags. So pattern generally, it's a kind of regular expression which has to be matched. Okay. And then we have another thing is string, which is nothing but this is called as a, the string which you would wanted to search to match the particular pattern. Okay. Now these are the things, and apart from that we have another thing which is nothing but the flags, where you can specify different flags using, maybe you can say like bitwise, or maybe other sort of operations, like maybe you wanted to perform something else. Okay guys, so this is what theoretical aspect which I would have, I thought like let me explain you accordingly. But yeah, apart from that, let me go through my slides in a sequence manner. So here again I have written the same way. A regular expression is a sequence of character which defines a search pattern. And here I've taken one example. So here what exactly it says, this is what, how many of you know about this symbol? How many, can somebody can tell me which symbol is that, the one I have pointed out? Okay, somebody has pinged me, thank you so much for that. Okay, somebody is saying okay, cap is perfectly fine. Okay, so it's a kind of a cap where you try to specify something. Now let's say I have just written this kind of a statement. Okay, so what exactly it does? So in solution, if you will see, it will try to search any 5 letter string starting with A and ending with S. Okay, so maybe I have defined some some sort of string where exactly you can say like, let me just guys hold for a while. Yeah, so here if you will see, like I have written some expression which is nothing but the similar expression kind of thing. And now here I am giving try to give some string. Now I am trying to pass ABS. So does it start with A? Yes, of course it start with A. But does it end with S? Yes, that is also it does. But do you think it is of containing 5 letters? So first letter is this A, and 3 dot is there. So dot represents a kind of how many spaces are there, basically you can say. And S and dollar, which specifies like it ends with S. So that is fine. So out of these 2 letters, how many letters do you think we need to search? We need to search another 3 letters. So this string contains only 3 letters. That means it is not fulfilling my match. That means I'm gonna throw, or maybe in this it is gonna throw the no match. Now alias is a 5 letter. That is perfectly fine. It starts with A, ends with S, which is also fine. So it will match. Apart from that, I have also written ABS. Now it is start with A and end with S. That is also perfectly fine. And in between we have another 3 letters. Okay. Now apart from that, we have another capital A, LIAS, So now my letter is being changed. That means my, capital letter has been there. So now when I ask capital letter, that means my string has been changed. So when your string has been changed, then that you are not going to get the match. So always you will get no match here. Why so? Because your string starts with what? Capital A. That is why I am trying to throw an error, which is nothing but the no match error. Okay. Apart from that, we have another string called as an abacus, and abacus is nothing but you try to write abacus here. It starts with A, that is fine, but it is a capital letter of A. Out of entire string, do you something find any match? No. So that is why I kept one column where I am trying to specify whether this particular string is being matched or not. So this is how you can identify whether my string given in our regular expression is it being matched or not. Okay. So guys, we have, as I said in the beginning, we have Python has a module, separate module for this, which is nothing but the RE to work with the regex. And apart from that, we have one thing which is you have to understand how exactly you have to use RE. And then let me just take the one example which I have showed you just before. Let me let me create one program for the same. Okay, so if I'm gonna do one program here, let me share that. Okay, so guys, are you able to see my Jupyter notebook? I guess everybody would be able to see that. Yes. So here, what I'm trying to do, we are talking about regular expression. Basically, regular expression, when I say, is nothing but here in terms of Python, it's a regex, and here I'm trying to give you an example where I'm trying to write something. So let me just go thoroughly one by one each line so that you would be able to interpret what exactly it is saying. So first of all, you need to import RE module, which is available for regular expression in the Python. And then here I'm trying to write some pattern. So here I'm trying to write some pattern, maybe A. I have written apostrophe and then A, and then I have written 3 dots, then S and dollar. Okay, this is nothing but my pattern. Now apart from that, we have another thing is called as test string. Okay, now in test string I have written this. I am trying to pass this string. So what I am trying to do? So this is my test string. This one is my pattern. Now I want my pattern is matched with this particular string or not. Or you can say my test string is trying to map with this, whether we are able to find the match or not. If not, then you have to print unsuccessful. If yes, then you have to print successful match. Okay, so instead of here writing search or what, you can write it as a match. It doesn't matter for me, actually. It's just a kind of a statement you are trying to print. Okay, now here I just wanted to check whether it's a match or not. So as I said, match accept 3 arguments, and one you can specify, and last one arguments you can specify or not, it depends on you. But but you have to pass at least 2 arguments here. First, the pattern which you wanted to apply, or maybe you can say like the pattern which you wanted to be followed. And then you have to mention test string, where what you are trying to do is you wanted to search pattern within that particular string. So you have to pass the pattern along with test string, so that it would if it will get some value on a status. Okay, then it is gonna print like yes, our match has been successful. Okay, so here I am trying to write two another lines. If my status, okay, my status is true, basically that is what it means. If my status is true, okay, or maybe you can say like my status is 1, then I'm gonna print successful search. As that is unsuccessful, that means you are trying to write here what? You are trying to write here if pattern matches the string. That means then everything is fine and that successful search has happened. So now what exactly the value you are getting on a status, you should have to write it like here status value is, so here I'm gonna write status. Let me run this and let me see that. Okay guys, here I'm getting options as in successful search. So here definitely I'll get some objects, so here I don't need to call that. Let me again run that. Yep, successful search. That means my string starts with A, it contains or ends with S, and it contains 5 letters. So ABCSS signifies that you have taken the successful string and you have searched the successful string. Now, apart from this, if I would like to change something, let me write it. Do you think we will get yes or not? Yes, we can also do that. Now, let me change one letter between these. Let me remove this letter. Now let me run this. It is saying unsuccessful. Okay. Now, apart from that, just wanted to know one more thing from you all is I'm gonna write here instead of B, let me write FC. Does it matters? Anyone? Does it matters? So that is why expression has to have something which that expression should follow. It's not like means you should write anything in between. Okay. So what happens? So if I am writing something, then what is going to be happen? Okay, great. So I got some messages and it is saying like successful search, and that is perfectly fine because you don't need to bother about between letters. Whatever pattern says, that is what you need to maintain. Okay. Now let me go back to my screen further, or maybe PPT. Now, sorry, something went wrong. Okay, it is maybe, yeah, yeah, that is perfectly fine. Now, meta characters. Okay, now you are quite worrying about what all these being called. Maybe apostrophe and square bracket and dollar symbol and a star and everything. What exactly this is being called? So generally we used to call it as a meta characters, not even you, even Python people used to call it as a meta characters. And here it is being defined as these are being used to specify regular expression. So even in my previous example, which I have showed it to you guys, I have used apostrophe kind of thing, or maybe cap and dollar, which are nothing but the meta characters. And these are the characters that are interpreted in a special way by our regex engine. Okay, guys, so far so good. Are we looking good or not? Is there any confusion? Is there any doubt? No doubt. Okay, fine, great. So now you can see here I have listed out some meta characters. So what are all there? First of all, I have taken the square bracket. Then I have, dot. I will tell you what exactly is being called for dot. Then we have cap, of course. Then we have dollar. Then we have asterisk. Then we have plus. Then we have question mark. Then we have, curly braces. Then we have, a square bracket. Not to say square bracket. What bracket? Anybody can tell me this is what kind of a bracket? It's a kind of a sphere bracket, or what exactly do you think? Like this is the kind of, which bracket do you guys feel like this bracket is? The square bracket is first one. This is what kind of a bracket? Okay, parenthesis. Wow. No, guys. Anyone else? Curly braces. Curly braces was before the one. So curly braces, I have clearly told you. I'm talking about this bracket. This is oval shape, or maybe you can say like circular kind of a shape. This is pipe. I don't know how many of you are aware about that pipe is. Okay. Okay. Now, so let me start by picking it up, one by one, each meta characters, so that, you will get more clarity on this particular, regex. So first of all, let me take a square bracket. Now, what it does, it specifies a set of character we wish to match. Okay. Now, I have taken, a square bracket, and then inside that, what I have mentioned is ABC. Now, if I am gonna write a string which contains only one letter, which is nothing but the A, then what message you will get? You will get only one match. Another thing, if I'm gonna write A and C, that means A and C is another two match. If I'm gonna write high Python, then I won't be able to get anything. Okay, guys, you can see that. If I'm gonna write A, B, C, and D, E, and C, A again, 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 how many match do you think? So there is 2A, there is 2C, and there is 1B. That means total 5 matches. Okay, guys. So this is how you need to, understand what exactly it is trying to search. Okay. Now tell me, we can also specify a range of characters using the inside the square bracket. Okay. How exactly? How exactly? Anyone? Anyone is saying something, or maybe do you guys wanted me to share something? Okay. Now, even in that, we can specify some sort of a range, or maybe you can say like a range of a characters. Okay. So you can say here, I'm writing some range, which I have specified like A, and then, there is something called as what? Icon, and then E. Then it's a kind of range. That means in between whatever letter comes, you have to consider that. Okay. And in the similar case, I have also mentioned at 1 raised 1 hyphen 4. That means in between whatever digit comes, you have to consider that. So how exactly you are gonna consider that? So when I specify 1 and hyphen and then 10, that means it is gonna take 1 to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So till 10. Okay. And in that case, here I have specified 0 hyphen 3 and 9. Then it will take first digit where your hyphen ends. Only that digit it will consider. That is why I have clearly mentioned it will take 0, 1, 2, and 3. After that, we have to consider the next digit which is appearing there, which is nothing but what? 9. Okay, guys. Apart from that, we have, the one we have just now learned is what? Cap. So cap ABC. What do you understand with that cap? Any character we want except A or B or C. Because we are trying to write that cap inside a square bracket. Guys, are you getting my point? And if I'm trying to write something called as cap 0 to 9, that means I really don't need these character. Or basically you can say like I really don't need any digit characters. I need only, characters, not digit characters. So if you got clearly what I was talking about, then just give me answer, because I'm gonna ask you something and I want proper answers on that. So guys, this is what I'm trying to do. Let me take this again, the same sort of example for me to build some sort of a question. So here instead of this, I'm gonna take something as my pattern should be like this. A, E, F. This is what my pattern is, and I'm gonna write some string called as Praveen. Now tell me guys, we will get successful message or not? Okay, I'm getting some responses so far. Okay, one of them is saying unsuccessful. Then what about rest of people? Guys, everybody has to respond. Okay, everybody is trying to say the unsuccessful. Okay, fine, let me see. Here I am getting successful. Why I'm getting successful, guys? Why I'm getting successful? Anybody is having any guess? Okay, let me write this here. Now, what exactly the message? Guys, that is what you need to look. I don't know what exactly you guys were thinking about it. Either, okay, let me write like this. Now, tell me what exactly the output. Okay. Now, let me take some name which doesn't not contain like this, which doesn't have like. Guys, I am trying to find something which, this pattern will search. So it will not search anything. Okay. And let me write if something I am going to write as then I am containing something, A also. Now, is it saying unsuccessful search? What do you think about it? Guys, do you really feel like, is it gonna work out like this? What it found? It has found something or not? Nobody is trying to understand. Now, okay, somebody is trying to ping. Okay, pretty much fine. So now let me ask you a few questions about the same. Because when I ask something about like whether you guys are able to do that, and nobody is trying to say anything. Guys, these are the classes is organized for you all, not for me. So at least you should respond actually. Okay, guys. So let me frame one question for you all. Okay. So I'm trying to do something which I don't know whether you would be able to do that or not, but let me just write one code for you. So here, let me write one question for you all. Let me share first of all, So here I'm trying to, do something. I'm trying to pass some text to you, everyone. So as you know, you have already imported RE. So I'm not gonna import here RE. So here I'm gonna write something called as, let me take a sample string. So I'm gonna write here sample string, and then in sample string gonna write something like it. I'm gonna write here some string called as this is something some this is can write as in a Python class. Okay, so this is nothing but our sample string, and here I wanted to search something. So I'm gonna write here search, and here I'm gonna write re dot, because re is nothing but the one you have already imported, and I'm gonna write here search, and then here inside that I'm gonna pass something called as, because this is nothing but the my sample string, and I'm gonna write here some pattern. Okay, and then here I'm gonna pass this sample string. So what I'm trying to write here is, I'm trying to write here something called as gap, and then what? Then what? Can somebody say this, and then what? Anyone? So I want everything to be, considered. So I'm gonna write here is dot, then star, because if I will write dot, that means, any sort of this, and then dot after asterisk, that means how many letters you can consider, that is also fine. And at the end, I'm gonna write here class. So guys, how many will you find it out? And then I will write here dollar. Then do you think like we will get something out of here? We will get what? Let me see. Oh, I'm getting nothing. Guys, I'm getting nothing. How do you get that? So here I have to write if search, the one you wanted to search here, if search is, if you found search, then you have to print successful search. So I'm gonna write success. Okay, so I do not have much time to write something here. So I'm gonna write search, and then in else part, I'm gonna write something called as unsuccessful. Okay, so here I'm gonna specify as an unsuccessful, and here I will write like this. So now, if this has happened, then let me run this. Yep, you can see here we would be getting this, which start with this, and dot asterisk I have mentioned, that means any letters or maybe any characters which you can get here, that is also fine. And it will end up with the class. Okay, that is what I have asked you to do that. I don't know, means I haven't allowed you to do, because somehow I was not getting some sort of confidence on you guys. But yeah, if I can give you some maybe some sort of basically you can say like some sort of example, then I don't know how many of you will come up with that. Okay, and suppose you wanted to find out something which is appeared there in your string, then you have to use find all, or maybe all type of string which are has been matched. So basically, if instead of this, let me try to use in same code, let me write here something called as, instead of re.search, I'm trying to use maybe I can write val is equal to, because I'm coming out of a code first, then only I'm trying to write something. Here I'm gonna write re dot find all. That's it. And then here I'm trying to write is, and then you have to just specify that sample string. So I have written this. Now I want to get that value, so I'm gonna write here print and then value. Let's see what exactly the output will be. So with this, we can find it out how many times is has been appeared there. So this is Python class. When I wrote this, you can say like is appeared here, is also appeared here. We will get twice. Okay. So in this manner, you would be able to search something. You can do that. So let me just move on to the next part, where exactly we can do that our part. Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. Yeah, apart from this, I don't know whether I have covered this or not. Yeah, I have covered this. After that, let me just move on to the next topic, which is nothing but the in regular expression. Also, we have something called as period, where we generally try to write dot. Okay, so if we have specified just one character, and I have here my expression is saying like dot, two dots, and in my string only one character is there, then it will always give you no match. And if you have specified two dots, then it will give you at least one match has happened. Okay, now if you have specified two dots and your string contains four basic letters, then it will say two matches has happened because you are containing four particular characters. And now instead of this, let me write dot as a star. Then how many of your character will you match? Will you see that? Anyone? Can somebody tell me how many characters it is going to give you message? My expression is dot asterisk dot star basically you can say, and then my string is ACDE. Then how many matches I will get? Guys, are you getting my question properly or not? Okay, then tell me how many matches do you get now? You will get one match. Okay, somebody is saying one match. Okay, what about others? Guys, when I write it as dot and asterisk, what does that mean? How many letters can come into that place in my string? It doesn't matter. It will consider only one. Okay. Now, yeah. So everybody is used to say cap. Now, actual naming of this particular cap is caret. Okay. So now, where it is being used? So I can say here, it is being used to check if a string starts with a certain character. So what exactly it is? How many? It is generally check. It is being used to check if string starts with a certain character. Okay. So now when I wrote caret A, that means it is gonna start with A. So if I will pass any string which starts with A, then definitely I will get match. If I will pass any string which starts with any other letter apart from A, then I will definitely get no match message. That is what I am getting here. Okay. Now, if I am writing something called as, AB, starts with AB, let's say, then if I will pass A and then C and then B, then what exactly it is? I will not get any match. Why? Because that match says it will start with A followed by B and rest is you can write anything. So that is how my caret works. Okay. Now after caret we have some more functionality, or maybe you can say like some more meta characters is another one is dollar. So when we say dollar, that means it is gonna be used to check if a string ends with a certain characters or not. So here, what I'm trying to say is, if I will specify B dollar, then that means my string gonna end with B. No matters what comes in first or what comes in before, my string has to end with B. So that is why here I have clearly mentioned $, which is nothing but the you can say like one kind of expression. And I have given some example where I have mentioned string A and then formula and then cap. Now, when I write A as a string, then definitely it starts with A, it ends with A. So I don't care, I really don't care whether it starts with A or not. But it definitely it has to end with A. So that means I will get match. Now in formula, my string is gonna end with A. That means definitely I'll get match. But in case of cab, what I am getting, my string ends with B. That means I would not be able to, match anything because my string here is gonna end with B, but expression says your string has to end with A. Okay. Now, when I talk about star, which is nothing but another meta character, it matches a zero or more occurrence of the pattern which is left to it. Okay. Now, when I say which are left to it, okay, then that means you have to think about the expression which I have given here, MA star N. That means any string which starts with MA, no matter what comes next, and definitely it goes end with N. That is what string I am gonna accept through this expression. So here in my examples, you can see it was mentioned as MN, which is nothing but the match. Why match? Why match? Anyone? MN is match. Why match? Anyone can say, is it a match or it is a not match? Can somebody specify whether it is a match or not? Guys, when I write MN, that is not gonna match. When I write MAN, is it a match or not? Yes, even MN will match because here what I have clearly mentioned in definition, it matches zero or more occurrences of the pattern left to it. That means after A star, that means whether A comes, whether A appears in the string, whether A does not appears in the string, no matter what it is gonna match. So if A is not appearing in the string, that means it's a just MN. If A is appearing, that means it's a MAN. If double A is gonna appear there, then that means MAAN. Or maybe multiple times you can take it as N. Now, when I write here MAIN, that means my I comes there. And my requirement says it is gonna appear in A. So that is where it is written as no match because A is not followed by N. Okay. And when I talk about WOMAN, is it being followed or not? Can somebody can say, is it being followed or not? No or yes? Anybody? Match. Okay, cool. So now let me just move on to Jupyter Notebook. Let me take one example which will maybe clarify everything what is pending at your end. Maybe let's say. So here I am gonna write something called as. Let me write some search, or basically you can say like let me write just search. Okay, so guys, search where I am gonna write re.compile. Here let me write compile. Basically compile is also used to create some sort of a regular expression. So either you can use that or maybe you can use the one which I have showed you. So here I'm trying to write here A to E, let's say A to E basically. Now what else I can do? I need to find, first of all I need to print everything. Let me just print out everything what I wanted to get some print here. So I'm gonna write here search basically, and then I'm trying to find everything. So I'm gonna use find all function. Maybe I will talk tomorrow about all the functions. Sorry, apologies for that, because I haven't told about this function, but yeah, that is what it is. So maybe inside that I'm gonna write something called as this is Python programming. Okay, and then maybe you can say like for which semester is it? Third semester, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna write like this. Then how many of you are thinking like we will get some output? Can somebody raise we will get some output or not? Okay, let me run first. Wow, I'm getting something. So now what I'm trying to, you know, what I really wanted to get is I wanted to find everything, whatever comes in my, string which I wanted to search. So A to E, I have clearly mentioned A to E, I want wherever I will get in that particular string which I have passed, I wanted to search that. So that is why wherever I get that A, I get C, I get E, and if there is some B also, then you will get that also. Okay. So guys, in this manner, you will do a lot many things. I don't know how many of you are able to get that, but yeah, you can clearly. I'm saying it is very important part of even Python programming. Even you can say like programming, because it will clear your all the doubts, or maybe it will shorten your codes actually. So even you don't believe, even I don't count how many times generally I use these things. And my most of the time, or you can say like wherever I'm trying to build something, I always try to prefer to use regex. Wherever I try to write something, I try to do this. Okay. Now if anybody would having any doubt, please do let me know. Otherwise maybe I would like to give one basic question to everyone, just trying to see whether you guys are able to get what exactly I have told you today. So here, just let me just write, or maybe you can say like let me just frame my one question here. So basically I am trying to find out something, it's a sample string, we can say like I'm gonna write here sample string, and where I'm trying to write something called as what to say. So here let me write my Python class starts starts sorry, my bad, starts around 130. Basically you can write it as a 130, or maybe you can write 13 and then 30 basically PM. Okay. And ends around you can write it as an 14 1430. Okay, this is what actually my string is, let's say. Okay, now I wanted to do something called as x x, or maybe you can say like you wanted to find something, then I'm just gonna write find, which is nothing but I'm gonna write here r dot find all, and then I will try to find something called as, here let me write here like this, 0 to 5 basically, and then again I wanted to get from maybe 0 to 9, let's say 0 to 9. Now maybe sorry, my bad, why I have used two bracket, I don't know. Apart from this, I'm gonna pass sample string. So I'm gonna write here sample and string. Okay. Now, let me print my find value. Okay. I don't know what exactly it is. And if I will get something on find, okay, then I will write here success. Else I'm gonna write here like this. Guys, what would be the output? Everybody can tell me just what would be the output I would be getting here. So I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 minutes, hardly 1 minute basically you can say, like, and just give me the output. What would be the output? Okay, I got. Thank you so much for the one who has responded me. Okay, wow. So here we can say, like, somebody is being unsuccessful. Okay, and somebody is actually doing something called as, which is pretty much fine. And thank you 570. Okay, 520. That is fine. Successful is fine. But what else we will get? 511. I'm also okay with successful message. That is also fine. But what else we will get? Anyone else? Please make an attempt. Okay, 520. Now you are coming up with, okay. This is pretty much fine. Hmm. What else? Python code or what? Okay, Python class. No. So I guess I have found, like, there are multiple or maybe 3 4 people who have given me the right answer. There are, like, 536 is one of them. 520 is, like, I guess those are the people. 520, 536, and then 570. You are also absolutely correct. We will see rest. I don't know how to say for you all. Okay, I got some more. So guys, you can see who has pinged me 1330, 1430. So those are absolutely correct because that is what I got that. Okay. So these are the values which we would be getting from this. Okay. With this, let me just close my session because I am also running out of time. So guys, thank you so much for attending my session. I hope you have enjoyed it a lot. Tomorrow we will come up with some more functionality, some more functions on our regex. Okay, this is very important topic. That is why please work on it. Guys, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much. Bye bye.